Okay, good morning, everybody. It is time for the most controversial card from Outlaws of Thunder Junction, Lost Jitte. We're definitely not playing it in like a normal way, but boy, are we should probably playing it in the best shell for the card. Lost Jitte has a lot of text, but really we care about this: remove a charge counter from Lost Jitte, untap target land. If you have Tron in play, this basically turns each charge counter into a Black Lotus, and Black Lotuses are pretty dang good in decks like this. They can make big use of the mana. If you're really familiar with these like 8-key combo decks, although we're only playing 1 key in this build. There's a lot of different versions we've played of this archetype, and specifically this Tron build. Specifically, the Tron build is how do I say this? There's like a lot of moving factors. There's like a lot of ins and outs to the different variants. So maybe it's best if I show off like some of the other builds we worked on. So we have this blue build with Enigma Jewel, then we have a green build with Ancient Stirrings, which is usually this one, and I was trying to play away with Ancient Stirrings here, and then we have this Tron build too. And the kind of the biggest issue with the Tron build, to me to some extent, was like the lack of Ancient Stirrings kind of made it to where you had to mulligan a lot of hands because you just didn't have mana. So you're either gonna keep a hand that has Tron, or has a mana battery plus ways to put charge counters on it, or you would keep a hand with Ancient Stirrings. With no Stirrings, it's kind of harder to assemble your pieces. Extra mana batteries, I think, is really nice. Additionally, I've always found that the Tron build of the Dice Factory combo deck isn't that interested in playing the keys, if that makes sense. Like if you're playing Enigma Jewel, the keys are great. You get to use this mana for the keys. I think the Ancient Stirrings build is also nice because you actually have colored mana, so you can cast Ancient Stirrings. So if you're going to play Ancient Stirrings in your deck, you can't play Tron because you don't have enough green sources. So you have to play keys to kind of make up for the loss of mana. If you're playing the Tron build of this deck, you have to play more lands, and when you're playing the more lands and you're playing the expedition maps, you have to play like 3 or 4 more lands, and you have to play like 3 more expedition maps, which means that there's just not a lot of room for keys. And so Lost Jitte kind of solves both problems where it gives you the extra mana batteries that this kind of shell wanted, in my opinion, kind of the more all-in version of Dice Factory. And you already don't want to really be in on the keys untapping the mana batteries as much in this build, in my experience, which is nice with Lost Jitte because you untapping this doesn't do anything. And of course, tapping its Urza's Tower can go pretty crazy. Anything else super big? Don't think so. I think let's go ahead and get in there. Got a lot to get to today. Where is Fumori Vault? I think Inventors Fair is still like a lot better than Fumori Vault. I think that you can play. I think Fumori Vault is a better fit in the Enigma Jewel version too, where like you're wanting to kind of activate that a couple of times potentially. So I would maybe play a Vault here over like second Gemstone Caverns or a second Garden. I did see Dingo go 5-0 with the Jason Falcon deck. I didn't realize it was Masons, but lists look a lot better than mine. Just like my biggest issue was there just wasn't. Okay, sorry. Just for a second, I was like, "Is this the right list?" This hand is pretty good if we draw a land. I think I have to mulligan though. Just obviously nothing if my top card isn't a land. Oh, laggy mulligan. I didn't know it was Masons list, but the list look really good. Like, I mean, let's pull it up. Like plotting Flame of Nor, I think is awesome. Where you like get to set it up for the 2 modes. Yeah, so this is the list Dingo 5-0'd with. I like to have 8 1-mana removal spells. It's nice because you just really need to have like a stable early board. Plotting Expressive Iteration seems awesome. Plotting Snapcaster seems awesome. A Flame of Nor lets you not be as weak to Pithing Needle as we were. Like the list just looks like great to me. I also when we played the list, I ended up feeling like the ley lines just like really were not worth it, and so like no ley lines also makes a lot of sense. I'm skeptical on these ancestral visions, but I think that's okay. Maybe the visions are great. But to me, the list looks great. And I'm happy to see that people are working on the list, and happy to see the lists are looking kind of good. Okay, so let's keep this and put back the Coretapper. His hand is good. I'm gonna go ahead and lead on the Astral Cornucopia and the Urza Saga. Really Really do not want to get the Astral Cornucopia Spell Pierced nor discarded here. UMR Convert Man, the 15 months. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all. Turn 1, Ragavan the Nimble Pilferer, huh? That is fine. So I'm going to go Coretapper, 2 counters on Astral Cornucopia, and then we're going to play Power Conduit. And then we're going to be able to peel charge counter off of the Urza Saga next turn, so that we're able to keep the Urza Saga around every single turn. Assuming my opponent doesn't go Ragavan into Blood Moon, but I'm under the impression that Scam players are not main decking a lot of Blood Moons at the moment. Of course, this can change really quickly. Covert Man with 50 months. Chef Lutz with 12. Happy anniversary. Appreciate y'all. Hope I didn't miss any subs. Looks like I did not. Plotting Ancestral Vision is what I decided to call. Is what I'm gonna do. Is what I call deciding I'm gonna do streams over the weekend. So it takes the Jace, plays their own copy of Urza Saga. I just noticed the Gigantha, not Scam, Jund Saga. Jund Saga is probably a little bit worse for us since they're likely to have like Haywire Mites and Needles in the main deck. Okay, so Dark Confidence is not good enough. Let's try Caustic Bronco, huh? There's Lost Jitte. So I'm going to go ahead and remove a counter from Urza Saga, counter on Astral Cornucopia, and then I'm probably grabbing my 1 of Key here. Maybe I've gotten a Expedition map and try to get Tron over the course of 2 turns. But to me, it seems like I'm just wanting to Mystic Forge and then make a Saga token, probably. Don't need another Lost Jitte. Let's go ahead and dump that. Yeah, let's just make a Saga token here so that we have like the sick blocker. Do you ever take the counter now to go from 1 counter on the Saga for more mana? Usually I skip a turn of getting mana off Power Conduit in that spot so that I can tutor something every turn. In my experience, it's like definitely worth it. Like just getting the key by itself is like netting me 2 mana this next turn, which is more than the 1 mana you would get from the Power Conduit, and then we get another tool every single turn. We can get Surge Nodes, we can get Expedition maps, we can get could get Lost Jitte. We already have Lost Jitte. Is Lost Jitte for the untapped land part? It ain't for any other part. It ain't for any other part. And if you have Tron in play, untapping is pretty nice. Okay, so they reveal Tarmogoyf here. I'm gonna block their Ragavan. I think the card, the mana for them matters more than the cards because they have 5 in their hand. Maybe they have a Lightning Bolt for the construct. Pirate Spellbomb, not quite enough. You're not going to equip it to creatures that often in this deck, but you do have, Saga tokens, you do have Coretapers, will happen some amount of the time. Okay, so we are going to charge counter the Cornucopia. I'm probably going to grab an Expedition map so I can get Tron next turn. Maybe that doesn't matter so much. Maybe I should just grab a Surge Node. Another Power Plant. Kind of feels like we're going to go for an Urza Saga win. I think that I'm going to still untap the Mystic Forge and try to hit something else useful. Alright, we are equipping the Lost Jitte. Nice little upside also to this card in this deck. Also an equipment. Notably, too, we can put charge counters on the Lost Jitte to make it to where my opponent just can't block. They can't block next turn. We also maybe could have made possibly a lot more Saga tokens, right? We could, or at least 1 more Saga token by untapping the Saga. Maybe that was a better line this turn. I've been seeing a lot of Kind Saga in the 1-2 weeks. Is this set adding to this deck? Kind Saga. I don't know what you mean. Is Gingerbread or Ornithopter Saga type Crypt too cute situational? Yeah, I would basically never would play it. they're going after my Urza Saga here. I guess we got enough value out of that card. Oh, Jun Saga. Is this set adding that deck? I don't know. I'm not a big believer in Jun Saga at the moment, and I don't really feel like Jun Saga has gotten a ton from the new set either. Okay, so we're gonna be on the draw. I'm gonna bring in a Gemstone Caverns, and I think I'm gonna cut. Well, they could have Needle. Probably need the Boseiju. Cut a Forest. Maybe they're gonna have too many Boseijus for me to cut Forest though. I cut the Inventors Fair. It's okay to cut the Inventors Fair on the draw. I'm mostly just messing with your lands with Gemstone Caverns and sideboard games. What is the combo with Lost Jitte? You're going to put charge counters on it with Coretapper, with Power Conduit, with Surge Node. You're going to use those charge counters to ideally untap Urza's Tower, or just untap one land, make 1 mana. Sometimes untap Saga, maybe. Make a construct. Make lots of mana. And then eventually you're going to, you can go infinite effectively with Paradox Engine off Karn, plus Mystic Forge or One Ring and a real mana battery, or even maybe Lost Jitte if you have Tron 2. And then we'll eventually Aetherflux Reservoir them out of the game. This is kind of a like a draw your deck kind of game or kind of deck. I'm keeping this. Basically always lead on Urza Saga with these decks. Unless I draw Expedition Map or mine. I'm gonna lead on the Saga, I think. Try to think of another top deck. Another turn 1 Ragavan. But they're on the play this time. Yeah, I think this build is actually interested in playing a lot of Jittes, where the Tron builds just want to play less keys in my experience, and also the big upside on tapping Tron lands. My understanding it's more of a synergy thing than a combo. This is a pure combo deck. I don't know. There's no Splitter Twin that you put on your Lost Jitte to win the game. I don't know. The whole synergy versus combo thing is a little tired, maybe. The deck is combo, Jitte is not. I guess, sure. Why not just play Dark Confidant? I mean, this card is probably better than Dark Confidant. It has 2 toughness in the Ren and 6 Orcish Bowmaster format. That matters a lot. Put a revealed Elvish Reclaimer. So the hand is just Reclaimer or Verdant Catacombs? Are they even going to play the Reclaimer? That's how you know Reclaimer sucks. They're even thinking about playing it here. Maybe they have like a 2-mana spell. I have a few options here. Right now I'm kind of leaning towards make a Saga token, get an Expedition map. And then next turn we can crack the map and then have Tron online. Can also equip the Lost Jitte to the construct. What else could I do this turn? I could get a Surge Node. I could cast the Mystic Forge. Let's go construct Expedition map. Be pretty bad if they were like sandbagging a Boseiju. See more about the elements of Registrar would Specialist be good. I don't think so. I don't know. I think the card is bad. It is good if there's a Satoro in the graveyard. If there's a Satoro in the graveyard, that card will be good. I think it'll be bad basically in any other situation. And so like you could just, play a Recruiter in the 3-drop spot and then tutor another Satoro. But a lot of people did suggest the card yesterday, so I don't know. It could be worth trying. Ooh, what the hell? Just value Invasion of Mercadia. Jun Saga players are really nobody's cooking like Jun Saga players. Oh, Molten Collapse. That was a pretty good card. And then they reveal a Tarmogoyf. We went 2-3 with Satoral Humans, but I think the deck looked really good. I think it was felt like a super rough draft, and I was like pretty excited by what the deck was doing. I've built a a real human version of the deck that we will be trying out today. Okay, so to get a fetch land, this can attack for 3, so I'm effectively at 1 if you count the Ren and 6 ping. They're probably just going to get an Urza Saga, though. Oh, nice. They get Boseiju, so they can sack Boseiju, Ren and 6. Okay, let's go to game. Game 3. It was a brutal Molten Collapse. Get to be on the play for game 3, though, which feels pretty broken. Thoughts about Charlotte's Agent cascading into Sortoro. Saw Mason post about it, didn't post a list. Of course I've thought about it. We've had a lot of talks about it on stream. At the moment, I don't think it is... I think it doesn't look like an optimal way to build around Sotoro. Where, like, if you don't want to ever cascade into multiple copies. You don't have Violent Outburst anymore, so your Cascade Shell is, like, a little weaker in general. But it is possible that there's a viable Cascade Sotoro build. I've started to build it a few times. To me, it has looked worse than the other Sotoro lists I've been building so far. If you hit Sotoro, you cast Divination, basically. Yeah, but then, in theory, like, you're gonna have a bunch of, like, evoke elementals to go off with. Could be okay. It definitely could be a reasonable thing to do, because they pick your poison my expedition map. Nice top deck. Get around Charlotte's Bloodbraid Marauder. Can't nail down list looks better than his peers. Yeah, that's the same thing. Again, it's one of those, like, really easy to talk about, very difficult to build. I'm not giving up on the thought, though, so we'll see. Okay. So I guess I'm just gonna go tap my Coretapper, see if my opponent wants to blow up the Chalice in response. See what we draw for turn also. Nice. Kind of weird, but I feel like I should use this Coretapper so I can do something with my turn, and since they're down a Haywire Mite, the something being the One Ring seems pretty nice. Was a combo. With this deck, you want to make... Oh, they're just conceding. With this deck, you want to make as much mana and draw as many cards as you can. That's the combo. The goal initially is to make tons of mana, draw tons of cards. You will effectively eventually win with Karn for Paradox Engine, and then Aetherflux Reservoir or Walking Ballista is how you actually kill your opponent with the combo. Is not playing the... What's it called? This hand looks good. Is not playing the... What's it called? Is not playing... Oh, we just have Natty Tron. Dude, there's too much is going on right now. Not playing Leyline of Anticipation. So we get to go here, Jitte, Surge Node, Charge Counter on Jitte. And then we get to play another Charge Counter on Jitte, and it's basically going to be giving us 6 mana next turn. So we'll have 7 plus 5, because we have to use 1 mana on the Surge Node for 12. So we could Karn for a lot. My opponent also doesn't necessarily look like they have a counterspell up. Oh, did I? No, sorry, didn't I? For a second, I'm like, did I play my tower before tap the mine? Okay, so we have Karn with 8 mana. I'm probably going to just try to cast a Sundering Titan here, assuming this resolves. Does not resolve. That's okay. They pitch Obscura Charm. It's kind of a funny card to see here. Why don't we put this Karn, the Great Creator, on the top of our library, and then, oh, okay, that's fine. Need to reread Obscura Charm, I guess. It's been a little bit. We can potentially just make a ton of Saga tokens this game. I think that might be a big part of this deck's game plan. For the new Jace, I think my build was bad. I was trying to see if the Leyline of Anticipation stuff was playable. It does not seem playable, and but there seemed to be some decent results in like just non-leyline control builds, and I think Mason played a build. We just talked about this actually. Okay, another subtlety. Well, we'll see how our Karn treats us next turn. We can also Inventors Fair next turn. We don't have enough artifacts in play to crack map, play Inventors Fair, and do the thing. But Leyline works. It does work, but I think it's suboptimal. I think you just instead of trying to go off fast in your control deck, just control the game. Just control the game and win with your like really mana efficient combo. In Mason's list is playing Ancestral Visions over Profane Tutor. I've been wondering if Profane Tutor would be better to set up the combo. Visions looks really nice to be on the mana curve. Suspending for 1 instead of 2 looks pretty nice actually. Crack map here. I think I'm just gonna crack it next turn. I guess I should just crack it now. See if I get priority here. My opponent's probably lagging pretty bad. Yeah, sorry. You should already crack the map. Jitte and Boros. Yeah, I have been thinking about Jitte with Lotus Field, potentially with Fervent Champion, potentially not. But it does sound actually somewhat doable. I haven't sat down to build it, but I wanted to start here and then go there. Why play Leyline? So Leyline lets you cast Jace on turn 2, and then you can like pitch it to 4, so you can loot it away with Jace. So like the downside's not that low, but it gets around the casting restriction of Jace. Yeah, we were talking about Dingo's build, and I think Dingo's build looks good. I think I posted this on Twitter too, but I think it just looks significantly better than what I had. Making Melee Saga tokens might be sneakily the number one win con. Yeah, it's really nice that you just have like what's cool about this deck is that you have this combo finish, but you also have the ability to make a ton of construct tokens really fast, like Power Conduit and stuff. Karn can just grab like Cityscape Leveler, Sundering Titan, these kind of stuff. You just draw a ton of cards with the One Ring, make a ton of mana, and then like winning the game is just not that tough after that. Okay, 3 mana. Main phase, Esper Charm. But BRBs us. Okay, so they're not lagging, just IRL double Q. That's okay. They didn't kill my Saga. I mean, if they kill the Saga, they're probably just they know I have Karn on top. They're just gonna lose to the Karn. So let's say this Karn gets countered. I can go another Surge Node on the Lost Jitte. Then Lost Jitte can give me 12 mana. Let's see Umezawa's Jitte do that. Considered playing Renaissance to beat opposing artifact decks? Hard to cast in this deck. Maybe we could play Null Rod. What do you think about ramp deck that uses Kalen joins up to plot Valky on turn 3? That does not sound like a ramp deck to me. But it also doesn't sound... It sounds worse than like the Jace control builds, and yeah, I don't know. It doesn't sound very good, unfortunately. Sounds very fun. Riz with the Twitch Prime, thank you, welcome back. Appreciate you. Guess I was way more invested in making 4 tokens. Yeah, we could maybe lose if we make 4 tokens. Like, we have to kill them in one shot because we're getting subtlety too. Probably would be enough. Emrakul in the sideboard. If not, there's so much mana. Yeah, I don't know. The Emrakul in the sideboard depends almost entirely on how much mill do I think I might play this week. If I feel like I might play against mill once, I'm gonna put the Emrakul in the sideboard because it's just like if I feel like I'm likely to play against it once, I'm putting the Emrakul in the sideboard because it's like that's like 10% of your matches, and the one Emrakul makes like these kind of matchups go from like almost unwinnable to almost unlosable, and but at the moment I feel like the mill players are down. I feel like they're beaten, and in the dirt, and I hope that they recover, but not today. I would really be remiss if my opponent did not BRBV and and I wasn't able to finish this game, because this game is going to be really sick. I do always like if when our opponents leave for an extended period of time. I like them for them to do it in these situations where I'm really ahead and I'm excited about the game, instead of being really behind and like miserably waiting 10 minutes to top deck my next card. Focusing Infinity, 17 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Smith, the 30 months. Yeah, the mill players are maybe playing Arena because of the surgical stuff. Maybe mill players are all surgical addicts, huh? Yeah, that is true. Now that there's less Force of Vigors, more Pick Your Poisons, I think the shell gets a little bit better. Been looking home from Moonlight, Maine for Phoenix, Vampires, and Molly. A great time for deck tech, Sugar Bandit. All could take a note from Sugar here. Nihiri for Cavalier looks awesome. That sounds so fun. Although I feel like is this card good? This card is very good if you have Fires of Invention in your deck. I don't think I've ever seen this card just be like, yeah, brother, I'm casting it for 5. I'm putting Nihiri in play. Good fucking luck. Of course, although you would not want to play Fires and High Noon in the same deck. High Noon is pretty cool. Is High Noon good in Pioneer? It does seem like it probably solos Phoenix. Probably pretty good. Okay, my opponent is back. Let's get back to that one. Oh, I just have too many options. I should have been thinking about what I would do here. Cityscape Leveler seems pretty dang reasonable. The One Ring seems pretty dang reasonable. I think let's go for the Leveler. I just don't know how. Oh, there it is. Don't know what they're supposed to do about this. Okay, untap Urza's Tower. Untap Urza's Tower. Cast Cityscape Leveler. Bridge seems reasonable. Yeah, Bridge, I agree, reasonable, but I'm gonna be making a lot of creatures and stuff. Ooh. Nice. So then we make 2 constructs. Two constructs can be lethal, so I go... So they kill my Karn, they hit me for 4 down to 7. Then they just have 7? Although I guess the Leveler stops that, huh? Okay, so untap Tower. Untap Saga. Make another Saga token. Yeah, that was kind of like the best not dead after all I've ever seen. Gonna have to map for fair for One Ring. Well, the Leveler does let me the Leveler does let me not be just dead on board. I'm also... It also may be possible for me to get these up to... getting 5 artifacts is gonna be tough. I can get 3 with the Leveler, the Saga token, Saga. Yeah, I guess not quite there. Opponent is ignoring Karn. There's no way this goes well for them, I would think. Although I guess it does make the Leveler like not a relevant card. Maybe this goes well for them. I have the Inventors Fair and I have the my Karn target. So with Karn, I can get Walking Ballista, and maybe that plays too much into another subtlety. That's true. I can get extra damage via Surge Node on the Jitte for more counters. It does feel like what I want to be doing here is presenting lethal with the constructs, because if they have to Solitude, they can't win, and it doesn't end. If they just have a counter, I can't really lose. So let's go make a Saga token. Surge Node. So right now I'm dealing 14 plus 2. Which is 16. So if I get one more artifact in play, they're cooked. So why don't we cast a 1/1 Walking Ballista? I guess the problem with 1/1 Walking Ballista is that my opponent can Solitude that. So I guess we'll cast the Ring. Oh, okay. Wasn't expecting that to just work. Oh, I've also... Sorry, I'm one short here still on the Lost Jitte kill. But I can... I think I can just cast the Leveler, right? To have... 2, 2... Looks like I'm a little short. I guess let's see what we draw off the ring. Just a forest. Just trying to think here. 16, 18. I think I pump once. Maybe it's just better to save the mana for next turn. Oh, they have something? They're gonna Solitude me. Let me gain infinite life. Sorry about this. Sorry about this deck tech. We'll get back to it. It looks pretty interesting. I do feel like the main thing I don't like is all these Cavaliers. Can't you level? What does level do for me here? I can't level and percent lethal because they'll just be 9/9s, but I won't be able to get the charge counter. But then I can level post combat now that they have less mana up. Seems a bit more reasonable. Maybe it was reasonable to do it then too, but I didn't count that I could present lethal here. We're gonna lose our Karn, but I don't know exactly what my opponent can do to get out of this. Wouldn't they be Tintins with killing Karn? Wouldn't what be Tintins? Yeah, I'm probably missing something. Okay, I'm gonna bring in Gemstone Caverns. I'm gonna cut a basic forest. I'm gonna click the submit button. All right, let's take a look see here. I don't know. I nothing is coming to mind for like what's immediately better. I'm also like, Inti's probably fine. The main deck Moonlights look cool. You said you were looking for room for the main deck Hallowed Moonlights. Are they... So this is 40. They're there. Main deck Moonlights could be good in Pioneer. I don't know. It's kind of the problem. Maybe asking a person who doesn't play a lot of Pioneer these days what to do. I feel like it looks okay. If there's maybe nothing better than Cavalier. Yeah, this looks cool. I don't know. I wish I could give you more than I just do some digging, see if there's just got to be a better creature to play than Cavalier. Cavalier just doesn't look good to me. The 4 Helix 0 Bolt because that's a Pioneer deck. The Leveler is +2 artifacts if you target a non-artifact. Oh, Leveler my own Karn. Is that a legal play? I thought you could only target your opponent's stuff. Oh, and you can target your own stuff. Okay, so Leveler my own Karn present lethal. That is a cool line. One I've never made. Fun level up trick, huh? Flagstones would be a good add to Pioneer. Yeah, maybe. Okay, my opponent has lost connection. Hopefully they don't struggle this much all day. Urza's mine. Urza's Power Plant, Surge Node, Cornucopia, Coretapper. Keep. We keep 7. Don't grief scam me. What is the combo? You eventually win with Paradox Engine and you draw your entire deck and you blast them. Wonder if they would counter Surge Node here. Maybe not. They seem kind of F6. No. Well, we just keep killing our opponent with constructs. But to some extent, you're a value deck. That is okay. I'm glad I played this Cornucopia. that is eventually going to combo kill your opponent with Paradox Engine. Um, it was just and because you have this Tron plan, like you're just making tons of mana, drawing tons of cards. Is how it feels. In the other like key version, you're really kind of focused on killing like you want to be killing on turn 3. This build is is slower, but this build gets rewarded for being slower by having the ability to outgrind interaction with like the Tron Plan B. That's kind of weird to call Tron Plan B. It is how it feels. They give you new cards can make Affinity come back to high tiers. No, I do not. Oh, sorry, I guess I should have played the Cornucopia here. Although they would, maybe I just want them to ephemerate the Grief because holding this is -3 damage for me. Since they know I have the Urza's Mine. Looks like they are still thinking about it. Like the synthesizer is cool. The synthesizer is also like I don't think enough to make Affinity high tier by itself. I think Satoru is not very castable consistently in Affinity, it seems. It like one big issue I have with it too is like if you're trying to use Springleaf Drum to cast it, then you have to play your Ornithopter before Satoru, which seems pretty awkward. Ooh, that's Tron. So we can map for Inventors Fair for a ring or a Mystic Forge to start the ball rolling in these kind of games. Yeah, yeah. And the problem with Affinity is not like this velocity card draw ball rolling. The problem is you're really weak to Bowmasters and you're really weak to the sideboard cards, and you also get raced by Yawgmoth and Titan with like almost no way to interact with these decks. You have some ways to interact with them. Charging up my battery. Making a construct. Not playing for Mori Vault. The Inventors Fair for me, I think, is the better option in this build. So I'm going to get Expedition Map so I can Inventors Fair next turn. Inventors Fair this turn? Maybe. Would it crazy if we just try to slot in for more Vault over the Singleton Caverns? It would be crazy! It would be one of the most ridiculous decisions anyone's ever played. That'd be fine, man. You could. I like the caverns a lot, and I do just feel like the Inventors Fair is fulfilling this this spot better, but it would be fine. It would maybe just be good to be playtesting the card. I'm a little bit less I'm just like a little bit less excited about somewhat average colorless utility lands. Since there are just so many good colorless utility land options in Modern in 2024. The fastest subtlety in history. Yeah, pest control would be good here, huh? Above average play. It's got 2 cards in their hand. Had a humans build. We went 2-3, but I think the deck looked really good. It felt very rough draft, but like the shell was interesting. We kind of moved away from the human synergies in the build we played. We're just more playing like Satoru Vile, and so I got kind of stuck on how to rebuild the list. So I built this deck. I built the ninja build, and then I have I'm hoping the ninja build gives us some insight too. Hold on, let me cook. Guess we're just gonna attack first. I feel like they're going to double block and Undying Evil, but that's just like it's just pretty fine. And if they like spend their turn removing this construct, that's also pretty fine. Okay, so not even an Undying Evil. Yeah, I'm hoping that we play ninjas today. I don't think I've ever played ninjas on stream. Or off stream even. I'm gonna get Mystic Forge here. I'm gonna get Mystic Forge here. Your turn. Was there a word we could have searched for Urza Saga and played it this turn to play around counters? Maybe. I feel like I probably just want to be grabbing like a super good card advantage engine with all this mana. That seems, you know, I don't like one thing is like the Saga tokens we have in play there already are pretty likely to go unchecked without a sweeper, and if they go unchecked without a sweeper like Dress Down or Pest Control, they're going to win. And so like playing into a sweeper more doesn't make a lot of sense because I don't be able to super easily like just creature move both. My opponent is playing 80 cards in their deck. Wowza. I'd love to draw a battery on turn 1, but sounds great. Yeah, Dice Factory days where we're not playing against only Karn and Force of Vigor are nice, which happened to us last time. Didn't you just play Albert? I played Alberto. Actually, long time grinder. Okay, Windswept Teeth is not that likely of a card to discard my Astral Cornucopia, but it is a bit more likely to Pending, and if they have Pending turn 1, I'd much rather them target the Surge node, so I could just go Cornucopia, Tron piece. Hope you lose to Yorion. I do too. I haven't seen Yorion cast in like a year. I love this smartwatch Esther gave me, where I get to read all the spam texts. Yeah, then I did play around the prismatic ending here. Get to read all of the spam texts that I otherwise just get to ignore. How did Magda 2.0 go? We lost a close match for the trophy yesterday. The deck looked good. I'm not 100% sure exactly like the direction I want to be going with Magda going forward, which of the two builds, but to me it seemed like both builds were really promising and exciting, and I'm optimistic about the archetype's future. Okay, so doing the Power Conduit Saga thing against what is obviously a counter spell. We have a few options. I think I should just get Surge Node and then go charge counter on Astral Cornucopia, and then I'm going to play Everflowing Chalice on 1. They can counter this to stop me from making a Saga token, which would be okay. Because we get to trade for a counter spell. Otherwise, we're just going to make a Saga token, and the next turn we can go get an Expedition map, I think, and then complete Tron to overwhelm their counter magic. Can Magdacy play and scam? I think you have to play 4 Mishra's Bauble if you have a Magda in your deck. Seems tough to fit that and Mishra's Bauble in scam, but Magda's good. Magda is good. Oh, the Jitte Infinite Tokens game. Yeah, could. Okay, we just drew Power Plant, so let's get Jitte. Then the Jitte is gonna go pretty crazy here. Yeah, it does seem does seem as though we should be at least pressuring them with this here. Like, I can just make a million constructs, which is maybe just what I should be doing, so I'm not showing them. Like, they just obviously have a freaking counterspell. And I could make 3 constructs, right? I should have enough mana to Saga token, untap with the Jitte, Saga token, Surge Node, Saga token. Yeah, I could just make 3 constructs. Dude, Lost Jitte rules. Everyone on Twitter was wrong. Everyone was wrong besides me. Is there a is it a little early? There's like a meme, right? Everything is wrong but me. There's a Bart Simpson, everyone is stupid but me. Everyone equals LSV. Yeah, that's kind of everyone. This could go over poorly. What do we think? Is this... There's another one that's like, no, you're all wrong. Maybe that one's better than everyone is stupid but me. You know how people on Twitter are. Yes, you're all wrong. Is this one worse? At LSV. Yeah, let's send it. Oh no, hold on, sorry. Okay, hold on, let me delete because I wanted to get the 2-1 up a game in the screenshot. I'm really eating into my sideboard time. It's okay, I don't really sideboard in this deck. Let me pose a bit better. So I have to be in the picture here. Okay. Sideboard screenshot, sorry. It was just I don't think I've ever had a more controversial tweet in my entire content creation career as when I said I kind of like Lost Jitte. I didn't even like it that much. I just think it's better than the other one, which is really what people were upset by. Because people love the old Jitte. We're also running really hot. It's a little early to say that it's actually good. Yeah, not remotely comparable. Which is actually I'm starting to believe more because that boy, if you're building it like this, like if you're building like if you would never ever consider Umezawa's Jitte for this deck. I'm starting to make peace with that sentence. Maybe too late, Freya. Am I out of touch? No, it's the Twitter is wrong. Yeah. It's usually Twitter is wrong. So I'm on a mulligan to 6 here. Okay, I think I'm going to bottom tower, then Gemstone Caverns, imprint Cornucopia. Then I can go turn 1 Saga Chalice, turn 2 Ring, or make a Saga token. Plays better luck. I think it's a completely different card. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, so like if you put it in like a creature deck, they would actually play somewhat similarly. And you know, this is a very, very different show. We would have had Natty Tron. Still find Tron. Come on. Yeah, they got counterspell up. Let's make a constructor too. Yeah, I could have had a turn 2 ring, but they got counterspell up. If the card wasn't named Jitte, people would have been higher in the card. I agree, Mason. I agree. Which is why I don't know. People just love the old Jitte way more than I expected them to. Yeah, I'm a little worried everybody's gonna sideboard card me. Lost Jitte is not good against Stony Silence. Gonna play a Fun Raveler. Turn 3 Fun Raveler on the play, usually fast enough to stop a construct. Not with Gemstone Caverns, though. Yeah, I think Jitte would be pretty mediocre if unbanned. Fibile. Which I kind of thought was like a really normal opinion, but did not seem to go over that normally. Okay, I'm going to get a Surge Node, I think. Could get Lost Jitte, too. Muscle Memory is telling me Surge a Node into Ring. Do a Force of Negation. Looks like they do. Oh. One thing too about Lost Jitte, this card is 1 mana. It's just like 1 mana, 1 to equip is really sick. Like we were feeling that I think really yesterday on the with Boots in the Magda deck. Like 1/1 is like really huge upside. Chocolate Attack, 3 months. Thank you. Welcome back. They discard a Windswept Heath and a Hedge Mage. Why no attack? I think it's more important to block the Shaman, or try to block the Shaman, than it is to get in for damage here. So I do have a green mana off my Gemstone Caverns, which I could use to maybe Haywire Mite the Binding this turn, off of the Karn, assuming Karn resolves. Yeah, I'm not sure why opponent's playing 80 cards. Do you still feel like you want all 4 copies of the main? I mean, at the moment, I wouldn't change the deck list, you know. Have we lost a game? We lost 1 game. But I don't know. It's early. I think conceptually 4 makes sense at the moment. I think there's a good chance. There's a good chance after testing you want to play less, but I think because I've played a lot of the shell in the past, and like 2 things I've known about this shell is you don't really want to play as many keys in this build. So Lost Jitte not being untapped matters less. So it's kind of like your best mana battery a lot of the time. And then also the upside with Urza's Tower, and I think and the fact that you want that density of keys, I think just makes you want to play 4. But it's early. Okay, so I guess I tap the Chalice first, so that way my Tron piece is tapped for the most. Okay, and then we just go. I guess why am I casting Karn into obvious counterspell? At least not first. They should attack first. Hey, Mino. Like we can maybe overwhelm counter magic next turn with Inventors Fair. Opponent maybe has a Leyline Binding. I'm gonna get in and just see what they do. Does Jitte replace Spear and Scales? Can you play both? I'm not sure. It's a good question. One kind of nice thing about Shadow Spear is that you can remove Hexproof from Scion. Interesting. Alright, they got 1 mana up. I'm gonna cast a Karn. If I had 1 more mana, I could Haywire Mite this turn too. Ooh, I could pay for Spell Pierce also. I don't know. I'm not gonna play around Spell Pierce out of the 80 card. Out of the 80 card 4-color pile, it's just 80 cards, by the way. Been a while. Got 3 cards left in their hand. Cast an Omnath. 3 cards still. So if I play this Inventors Fair, should be able to resolve or cast a 4-drop after, right? Because I can use the mana from the Jitte. Yeah, so we'll cast another Ring here. I think Ring over Mystic Forge. Make a mana is a pretty good mode on a Jitte. Huh, so I guess they just let the other... I guess they had Force earlier, and they just let the Ring resolve so they can Binding it. Good play. Pitch Dovin's Veto. They got a lot of cards in this matchup, huh? 2 cards left in their hand. Yeah, I do think Clamp would be way better than Urza's Jitte. Not the most relevant conversation. Yeah, Spell Pierce and Force Negation and Veto is tough. Dovin's Veto, Force Spell. And you got 80 cards. Like what are you gonna play? Less cards and more focused counter spells? Just play 80 and just draw the right ones at the right time. Easy peasy. They pending the Jitte. They get in for 6. Okay. They maybe are gonna lose this race. They have 1 card left in their hand. It's not a land though. I can pay for Spell Pierce. I'm going to put a +1 counter on my construct here. Like a lot of games with constructs today. More than I feel like you usually do in this archetype. I don't know if I'm going to... Yeah, I guess I can Surge Note over to the Chalice. I can just still Power Conduit remove from Chalice later. If they don't have a land, I wonder what they're going to do. Attack for 4, jump with the Reflection maybe? Yeah, I could remove the Luck counter too. Maybe that was a bit better. Could also just do that next turn. Kind of nice that my Construct doesn't die to Dress Down here. Okay, another tower. Could probably just hold that in my hand this turn. No Giganta because you have Astral Cornucopia. No Zerda because you have Urza Saga. No Mori because you have Karn. And no Kihira because you have Coretapper. So very close to playing 4 different companions. Cannot cut any of these cards, unfortunately. Are they wanting to cast Solitude and copy with Reflection? Well, thanks for summoning that to my opponent's hand here. What did they pitch? Dovin's Veto? Yeah, Dovin's Veto. They are copying it. Why? Gonna exile their own Solitude for life? Okay, cool line. So I'm getting a bunch of life, and I have at the moment an Immortal Urza Saga. Yeah, we can make a construct every turn. It's pretty good. Well, wait. Well, I mean, if I trophy, I'll post this. But only if I trophy. I will only deserve to free trophy. Oh, poor baby. No, I don't have tissue, sorry. Okay, do you have a Tidebinder? I think they have Tidebinder. I think they top deck Tidebinder, which is so sick. Still counter time? No, it's not counter time, because if they have Tidebinder, I need to remove. I need to make sure they're gonna try to Tidebinder my Power Conduit, right? So I need to not let them Tidebinder now. I need to Tidebinder as part of a cost, so I get to make 1 extra construct. It's like Tidebinder is insane top deck with the reflection. Okay, I seems like I may be wrong. So I can go for lethal with Lost Jitte, right? Oh no, so I can't make it unblockable and. Oh, so I can get Manifold Key though, right? I can go Manifold Key, unblockable the construct, and then make another construct. Okay. Wasn't expecting that to be the card. Thankfully, it only kills 1 of my constructs. I guess I would rather block than attack here. More with the 6 months, 16 months. Thank you. Welcome back. What's the opponent's deck? They're playing Yorion with no Yorion. They have 80 cards, exactly 80. Opponent's draws have been really good this game. It's a lot of really relevant cards to play through. That Spell Pierce was wild too. The timing where they can play Dress Down and block your construct. I'm not sure if the Manifold Key is. I don't think this is an ability. I think this is just it can't be blocked. I don't think that's like the ability unblockable. That's true. Tidebinder may be too new for them to have in their list. Yeah, it did say on the card it was still unblockable. Not that you can always count a Magic Online. You outplayed me. GG. Okay, let's get a trophy prediction. Again, we have a big prize if we trophy. We'll post this meme online. If we trophy. Didn't know how to play against this. I feel like they played fine. I don't know if there's much else they could have done. Okay, but let's get a trophy prediction. Our first league with Lost Jitte. Be awesome. Okay, got Tron. Of course, Love Louise been like the biggest fan ever of his for the longest time. We found out that they're not comparable because OTJ Jitte a dominant creature comment. Let's use a common card. Yeah, I think so too. Like to some extent, like if you were going to just play both in a creature deck, they actually do seem like they are really comparable for whatever that's worth. Probably nothing. It's gonna main phase this. But yeah, in this deck, it's just not play. It's not at all like Umezawa's Jitte. But if you were to play it in a creature deck, like Scales, for example, at that point they become like much more similar cards. You ever queue into LC Moto? You can send the high. Big fan. I never have, but I've wanted to. Okay. What you take in, opponent? Probably a ring. If they don't take Chalice, I can go Chalice on 3 into ring, which would be pretty nice. Does take a ring. Oh, we win. Moon could be rough. It's gonna be a lot less rough because we have the Everflowing Chalice on 3. Main deck Moon is also, I think, a lot less common. Not completely unheard of. They're gonna have their own copy of the ring here. Yeah, main deck Moon's still possible, of course, just less common. Good brick here. Hopefully not. It's kind of nice because like I guess charge counter stuff doesn't help us a lot this turn. Next turn it would help us make a ton of constructs with Lost Jitte though. So I'm down to 17. 2 more draws this turn. Mystic Forge is nice. I think one of Moon is pretty stock in this game. Okay, good to know. Another copy of the ring. Can make a little bit of mana with this Lost Jitte. But I think I'm just a bit more likely here to go cast map. Oh. Cast this Lost Jitte. Didn't use the Surge Node this turn. I wonder if I don't know. It's hard to imagine this is that bad. Get the extra card. I feel like cards matter more than mana. Do they? Very philosophical question. How do you rate Satora's power level compared to Beans? I'm having a hard time evaluating, comparing its legendary, more versatile, draw triggers, the card's awesome. Yeah, to some extent it doesn't matter that much. But they are the more I play with Satora, the more I feel like they are very different cards or are pretty different cards where like Bean was really broken with the Cascade build. Like you just get multiples in play. It was like so nice. It's so hard to interact with because it's an enchantment. Satora is a lot easier to interact with, and it seems like the Cascade plan is like a lot less reasonable, especially with the Violent Outburst ban. But Satora also works with a lot of different stuff. Next week I want to be working on like a Bloodghast, like more graveyard focused Satora build. Not sure exactly how we're going to do that, but I'm going to be working on it. And they're similar, of course, but don't need to get too lost in the sauce with the comparison. So we should have a pretty easy time winning here with Paradox Engine. I think this may be our first like actual combo win this league. Bloodghast and Earth, draw off Satora. Yeah, it would be cool to get draw off like in Grave Crawlers, carrying free to probably too many pieces. Be really cool though. So I'm just going to grab the Aetherflux Reservoir now to show them that they're cooked. I could be drawing millions of cards off the ring here. Just nothing, you know. Well, we have all the mana and all the resources in the world. Don't need to worry too much. And now all the life in the world too. Would you jam a copy of Lava Spur Boots in the Root stack? Maybe. Let's make it 12 Chalice. If I play both Reservoir and Ballista, don't they both serve the same purpose? Not exactly. Sometimes you actually just tutor both, where you will just grab Ballista sometimes, especially to kill Orcish Bowmaster, and then if you've already used your Ballista, you're like, oh, I've already used my Ballista, so I now can get the Aetherflux Reservoir. Sometimes you actually get Reservoir early against Burn, which is less common, but you get Ballista enough against Bowmaster that you want the Reservoir as the win con. Also, sometimes people just like needle Aetherflux Reservoir. This happened to me, like, it should never happen. You should needle Karn instead, but some people just needle Aetherflux Reservoir, so then you just have the Ballista instead. You could Cityscape Leveler then do the thing, or Haywire Mite then do the thing, but or Boseiju the needle and do the thing, but it's come up. This is working about as well as usual. Maybe a little bit above average. I don't know. The Jittes have been good, and but you know, to some extent, like, we haven't run into Force of Vigor or Karn. We have run into a bunch of Ragavans. We've run into Prismatic Ending, Dovin's Veto, Force of Negation, Spell Pierce, Leyline Binding last game. But it's just like the Force of Vigors and Karn, opposing Karn decks are really what you struggle with mostly. Okay, let's bring in a Gemstone Caverns. I get the flexibility is worth a subboard slot. Yes, it is, because Ballista is not mostly in this deck for a win condition. It is mostly in this deck to kill Orcish Bowmaster when you have the ring in play. This is the main reason you have Walking Ballista in your deck. It cannot do both. It cannot both be an answer to Bowmaster, or oftentimes it cannot be both. It cannot both be an answer to Bowmaster and then also your win condition, because you want to play it for one, use it, then it's dead. And it's hard to get it back without like exiling it and then getting it back with Karn again. So because it can't be both in many games, it is important to have it and the Aetherflux Reservoir. What is the root stack? The Jund Insidious root stack. You can find it in the Mox field. Yeah, pick your poison on the uptick, I agree, is pretty good for the deck. Keep force against potential moon. Well, we don't really care much about tapping for green against Blood Moon. The only green effect we have in the deck is the Haywire Mite and the Boseiju. We still have green off of Astral Cornucopia. So I don't doesn't seem super important to me. Okay, I'm gonna keep this. Turn 1 monkey. On the play this time. Wait, was it also on the play last time? I think I was on the play. Yeah, I was on the play. That's fair, but second Ballista could be better than Reservoir. I like Reservoir. The life gain does come up. It could be better. You could play 2 Ballistas if you wanted. You just have to make that decision for yourself. I like Aetherflux Reservoir. I've definitely like tutored Reservoir enough times where I mostly wanted it as a life gain spell that I'm still interested in having the Reservoir. Why no for more Vault seems good in free on the deck. I'd rather play Gemstone Caverns and Inventors Fair. You could play for more Vault. But Inventors Fair just kind of always grabs you like a good artifact instead of Fumori Vault to make you discard a card and you just won't always hit. Okay, let's go ahead and go Saga, Surge Node, I think. Well, we have to actually trophy the league, Jesse, to get the victory lap. But that would be nice. Hopefully they cast a Thoughtseize. Pray no Hidetsugu. Yeah, I always feel like the Tron build is the most resilient to Hidetsugu. Magus was a bit worse, maybe. Pretty cooked. Kind of tough to keep Tron hands, maybe against Scam. Maybe need to keep more mana battery hands. Karn's Bastion plus 2. Karn's Bastion is, I think, very bad. I've certainly seen people register in decks like this, and I don't think it's good. Answer to Magus is just Ballista. Yeah, I mean, our real answer to Magus is Everflowing Chalice and Astral Cornucopia. That's our main plan against Chalice, or against Magus. We do have the Ballista. So dead in 2 turns because of this. Jitte's been good. Definitely been good. Made a lot of mana with it. Made a lot of constructs with it. Has been nice. No Blastland? No, I don't know. That there's like Hammer is not very popular. Scales is not very popular. You have a lot of 1 mana stuff too. Yeah, if we lose to Jitte, we can still post the game now. Only if we trophy. I can rip the One Ring to stabilize here. I'm going to get my 4th land off an Expedition map. Karn +1 theoretically stabilizes. Might as well get Forest, I guess. Don't have a lot of stuff to use on it, though. Okay, did not draw the One Ring. Oh. Game 3 on the play. Feeling pretty good. Yeah, it's tough to keep a Tron-focused hand on the draw against Scam. You can keep a Tron-focused hand on the play. Maybe we should mulligan to a mana battery-focused hand. It's just also tough to mulligan against Scam. It's just always the issue, huh? Well, we have Natural Tron. We're on the play. We need to top deck something. It is what it is. I think the most important card in my hand might be the Expedition map, because it can find me Inventors Fair if I flood out. Maybe it's I think it should be probably the Surge Node. Surge Node helps me play around Moon effects the best. My opponent's on a mull to 5. Also, I think there's a very good chance if I play Surge Node and my opponent Thoughtseizes me, they would take Jitte over map. But if they Grief Scam, they obviously get both. And Boseiju. Yeah, they have Magus and Blood Moon though. Yeah, I think the fact that they have both. Let's play the map. That's a good argument. Of course, we will need to top deck some action at some point this game, but hopefully that happens. They do have a 1 mana play. It's just another Ragavan. Okay, so they have 4 cards in their hand. See if they have a turn 2 Blood Moon. Let's see if we ever draw anything. They hit a Surge Node. Thank you, Ragavan. You may Thoughtseize me now, opponent. You may triple Thoughtseize me. So this kind of feel like a Grief Scam tank. Yes. So huge top deck from us. Ooh. They played the Thoughtseize before the Voidwalker. Interesting. Okay, I guess kind of easy choice then to Cornucopia X equals 3. And then save the... Well, okay, hold on. So can I... Yeah, I have to Surge Node now if I want to crack the map and use Surge Node this turn. Let's put it on the Jitte, since it is, if they don't have Moon, an extra mana, and if they do have Moon, the same amount of mana. Very much hoping they don't have Moon, because I need to grab Inventors Fair to have the ability to do stuff this game. They definitely could have a Moon here. It seems like possible. Oh, and I just exiled Boseiju to Ragavan, so if they cast Blood Moon here, that'll feel not great. Keck W. I think I'm sacrificing the Surge node. Not sure that this is right. Seems okay. Oh. I don't have enough artifacts to sack anymore, though. Oh no, Lost Jitte is legendary. Was I supposed to get Saga? Jitte sucks again. Oh no. They patched, updated it. Worse than Darksteel Relic. Lois! Get 2 cards in their hand. And they're thinking about using the Expedition map. Get to gain alive. Oh wait, you only get to gain alive if you have 3 or more artifacts? Dude, Inventors Fair sucks. Also, the new card would have been better. Ooh. So I guess okay, wait. Easy choice on the sacrifice here. So it's still in a spot where we can draw an artifact. I'll take a card. Probably grabbing Ensnaring Bridge. One mana short of also cracking Inventors Fair. Thank you, Ragavan. Although Expedition Map wouldn't have been the worst draw because we would have been able to ring them. Yeah, a good top deck. We did accomplish the goal of drawing something ever. Blister for 4 also seemed good. Yeah, Blister for 4 would have been pretty solid. There's a good chance they have an Undying effect as their last card. Thank you, Mar, for the combo command. So I can go Karn for Paradox Engine and Inventors Fair for the One Ring, and I should have protection from everything. So I have 9 mana plus the, yeah, seems like this should work. It's a bit awkward with the Ensnaring Bridge, but if I don't draw a spell off the ring to like continue, then it's also just kind of okay because we have all this going on. Dude, Lost Jitte is literally a spell. Better to... Shouldn't matter that much, I guess. Hard to imagine we can possibly brick at this point. Wow, Jitte popping off. Okay, it was popping off earlier. I know, it's not the biggest upgrade to the deck, but I think it's been looking good. We'll see if it actually finds a home anywhere else. I guess maybe, I don't really know what they could possibly have, but maybe removing the counter from this matters a lot less than unlocking their treasure tokens. I can't imagine that actually does. But they're super dead. We don't need to really even think about anything, dude. Am I dead? Yes. If you remember last time. Okay, point says, okay, GG. Okay, we're 4-0. It would be very funny to trophy our first league with Lost Jitte after how controversial it is. Obviously, again, really not the same kind of card as it's going to be in any other kind of deck. You know, but it's looking pretty good. We're on the draw against a Gigantha with what is probably, it should be a mulligan, I think. Close hand. Okay, his hand's way better. I think in this spot we put back the Jitte. Yeah, I think so. Card bad, actually. Take it all back. Basic Mountain. Okay, so up against Prowess. Yeah, happy it's Prowess and not Zoo, I think. So next turn we're going to go counter on Chalice, cast Coretapper with the ability to block and then sack onto the Chalice. Then we get to cast the Ring, and then hopefully we just untap and win. A little bit less likely to have like the faster kills in this shell. And also Prowess is very fast deck, very scary deck with the show off. Could very easily just be dead. Yeah, I think Inventors Fair is better than Fomori Vault. You could play Vault over Gemstone Caverns. Gemstone Caverns is also like, I think it was a big part of the reason why we won that one game against 4-color. But it would be pretty reasonable to play. I think the second basic is really important for all the Field of Ruins. Yeah, but if we survive this turn, we should be in pretty reasonable shape. It's kind of a bummer we don't have a Paradox engine to get off Inventors Fair. I was actually really close to playing the first copy in the main deck. Plays a Channeler. 50-50 to die. Looking a lot more likely that we live now. Yeah, losing the die roll is tough. Could still die. It's all in their hands now. I think if they have Lava Dart mutagenic growth, that might be enough. Keeps the card on top. Hits me for 10. I'm down to 8 life points. Great top deck. How could their last card ever be Spell Pierce? I've said that many times on this channel. Enough times to not play around drawing Urza Saga off the One Ring here. I've said many times, how could their last card ever be Spell Pierce? And we find out. We found out too many times. Oh yeah, I have gotten Wild Slash by Prowess lately. It's pretty cool. But it seems like that's not the card they capped. Nor would it be enough, I think, by itself to get online. So we lose a life, we gain a life. Draw 2 more. Okay, so how much mana do we have? We have 8 mana, which is short of going Karn into Paradox Engine. I think I'm more likely to Karn Ring than I am to Karn Bridge, because I have a million cards in my hand. I'm thinking about maybe Inventors Fair Ring instead. I'm short of that, right? Short. I have 7. Yeah, that's one short. Just always has to be Karn Ring. I can't Surge Node first. Take your time. No explosives. Not that I guess I would get it here anyways. Yeah, let's go Karn Ring. Ballista for 2 is such a losing line, it's unreal. Kill just one creature. Karn Reservoir gains 7. Yeah, there's a good chance gaining 7 isn't enough, but yeah, I could have done that. Keep the higher card draw ring though. No, it's the same amount of cards. This draws 1 card now, 2 cards next turn. This draws 3 cards next turn, 3, 3, and this effectively means we're at 1 higher life total. So they have Giganta 2 mystery cards. One of them is a plotted show off. Not drawing any redundant Tron pieces. So we have 8, 9 mana this turn. Probably just spend another turn getting a ring. And charging up the battery. Because we should be able to go Surge Node into second Surge Node counter. Play mine. Then we'll have 8 mana, which looks like enough to me. Yeah, I got Wild Slashed yesterday, I think. Okay, we're saved. We have Lost Jitte. Giganta getting cast. Okay, another card makes things so easy peasy. Dare I say, lemon squeezy. So up a game in our trophy match. Guess just the Karn. Not gonna waste time with the tapping of surge nodes. We just have plenty of mana. Nice to win on the draw. Game 1. Lost Jitte real winner. It's definitely a lot better. So like our first like 3 matches were very like Urza Saga focused, and we had it with Tron a couple times and it was really nice. I don't know. Not at the end of the day, it's like Everflowing Chalice variant in the deck, and it has like some significant upsides over Everflowing Chalice, but isn't like once you already have one Chalice, sometimes you don't need the other one. Yeah, but the equity were really good. I know for of course a first trophy doesn't even really mean that much, but it's cool. I think Jitte can find a home in these kind of shells. Something that Mason said earlier, I think is very true. If this card just didn't have, if it just didn't have the word Jitte in it, like it just people would like it. I think people would, I think the card is really neat. They also just be keys. So that's actually one thing is I feel that the Tron build of this archetype is less interested in playing keys and more interested in playing more mana batteries, because you don't have access to ancient stirrings for to dig for the mana batteries. So like a lot of times you just don't have it. And maybe that's not as true, right? Because you have like the Tron lands to compensate. But I've played builds of Tron with lots of keys, and I've liked it. I've liked the keys a lot less in this build than in versions with either Enigma Jewel or Ancient Stirrings. Enigma Jewel is really nice with the keys. We played this build recently, and it felt pretty good. And I think that you in this build you would play like one Jitte probably. Jitte is like just so much worse without the Tron lands, but I think you'd still play one copy in these builds. But I wanted to play this build because you get to play more Jittes. You could play less than 4 Jittes too here. You could play 3 or 2. Okay, this hand's awesome. Gonna put back, or Gemstone Caverns, the Boseiju. Certainly a hand that is capable of winning on the draw against Prowess. Or 4 Jitte is really needed. Or playing 4 for testing purpose. I like to test 4 when I'm playing a new card for the first time. I think unless it like really just doesn't make sense to play 4, but I've played enough of this archetype and worked on it to feel like 4 is an okay place to start. And I think there's a very good chance you could cut like the 4th Jitte for like 1 main deck Paradox Engine. You could play an extra land. You could do a lot of stuff in in those slots, but I feel somewhat confidently that you play more than 1 in this build, and let's just start with 4. No, Coretapper plays second tapper. I don't think so. I just kind of want to like if I want to kind of make them spend their turn killing this, and I still get to go like second Coretapper into 4-drop next turn. Oof. Brutal. Okay, I guess we are very, very happy to have top deck that. I feel like grabbing Key with Saga is really key. I mean, I have a key for grabbing up Saga. I'm going to play in stack second Coretapper, so I have 6 mana, which block away next turn. Because, again, I want them to spend mana, killing the Coretapper if they have it. If they don't have a removal spell for Coretapper, I get an extra counter on the Chalice. And I don't need 6 mana next turn. I need 4 mana next turn, which I still have. That was very risky skip through turn with Dart in the yard. Maybe. They shouldn't be end of turn lava darting, though. You know what I mean? It's just like a punt. Like the design to pick your poison? Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Pick it off camera. Nykthos build Jitte. I mean, not 0% to work, but doesn't necessarily feel super exciting. So they hit me for 8. They have another. They surveilled. They have 2 darts in the yard. Dang. How'd that happen? So if they double dart me here, am I dead? May have to settle this game 3 on the play. We had a really good handle to draw. They also kept a card on. They had kept a card on top, and they have the bauble draw. And Karn is just going to be too slow, just dead to the dart. Game 3. The Picker Poison was really, really gnarly. Okay, all comes down to this. Get to be on the play for game 3. First time being on the play in this match. It's just to have a nutty 7-card hand. Definitely have 3 in the sideboard. I was playing 4. Yeah, but yeah, 3 or 4 probably, maybe 2, probably 3. Yeah, on the play. And this is why you really need the mana batteries. And is super close. We have to mulligan. Okay. You know what? This is good that we have a hand where it seems like Lost Jitte can really shine. So I'm going to click the keep button, and it feels like I should be putting back the Manifold Key. And then I guess it is kind of tough between going turn 1 map and turn 1 Lost Jitte. Map kind of plays better around Pick Your Poison, right? I'm gonna take my time. So we got Jitte into turn 2 Coretapper. Probably have to sack it. 2 counters on the Jitte. Then there's a good chance that I'm wanting to save the Jitte until after I have Tron on mine anyway. So yeah, let's just play the map turn 1. Getting Tron seems good. Well, there's also the whole Pick Your Poison dynamic. Map 100%. Okay. All right, let's draw Power Plant. No threats, huh? Interesting card to see. Oh, sorry. There's not a lot of point of equipping, right? Because I'm not very likely to deal combat damage. Like, I'm almost always just going to tap the Coretapper instead, but I guess I should have equipped. I'm going to cast a Blood Moon. They drew a threat, and it happens to be their best one. 3 cards left in their hand after this, too. Very good draw from them. Gonna cast a Mystic Forge. Let's get rid of the Karn. Wrong Tron piece on top. Yeah, I guess it does make sense for them to have a Blood Moon. No chance they sandbag that. That'd be their draw for turn. Shoff just kills so fast. Oh, gross. Okay, Jitte sucks. Good for showing for the deck, though. Fun. I definitely think the Jitte is a nice card for the shell, memes aside. Would again play more than one in the Tron builds, probably one in these kind of builds. Oh, Prowess looking scary. Double disenchant into show off is scary. We opened a Magda. Magda's pretty sick. We opened an amount of play points. 45. Yeah, they don't call it the win Jitte. They don't call it the win Jitte. Okay, let's play the humans. We're going to go.